Emma is a diligent student with many certificates, medals and other awards. She doesn't have a mother, only a father who raises her alone. David Grossman is very proud of his daughter and doesn't care how many awards she's won. Emma on the other hand wants her father to meet someone and be happy again. They are visited by Aunt Angela, David's sister, who has found a new nanny. But Emma isn't thrilled about it. A student at a private school, the girl is much smarter than her peers, which is why she has few friends. She mostly talks only to a boy named Milo, who is afraid of wasps. But Emma isn't, because there's a wasp nest in her father's workshop. David interviews the potential nanny Khloe. The girl has 5 years of experience and loves children. David is satisfied and hires Khloe. When the girl asks about David's wife, he says she passed away when Emma was born. Khloe is very sorry to hear that. During school breaks, Emma never plays with her peers because she feels too grown up for that. David never asks his daughter if she's done her homework because he has no doubt Emma doesn't need supervision. But sometimes the girl feels uneasy about how different she is from her classmates. Today is awards day. Emma is sure she'll once again receive the annual Citizen of the School award. But why is she so nervous this time? David can't help but notice. Things don't go as planned. The Citizen of the School award goes not to Emma, but to her classmate Milo Curtis. This is a huge blow to Emma. Her pride is hurt in front of the whole class. She watches with disdain as the school principal puts the medal on Milo. David talks to the school principal, Mrs. Ellis. Due to his workload, he's missed several parent meetings. Mrs. Ellis says Emma is a very smart and goal-oriented girl, but it's as if she lives in a world of her own. Later, David tells his daughter how proud he is of her and that she shouldn't be upset about the medal. Emma in turn says that Milo didn't deserve the medal because he's a terrible speaker and has poor spelling. After the awards ceremony, the students' parents host a small bonfire party, while Emma and Milo walk in the nearby forest. It brings them to the edge of a cliff. Emma looks at the boy with anger. Milo still doesn't realize what her true intentions are. Soon as if nothing had happened, Emma returns to the others. Milo's parents ask her if she's seen him. The girl says no. Suddenly screams erupt. Milo has been found lifeless in the river. The boy's parents cry out in despair, begging someone to call an ambulance. That evening David discusses what happened with Angela. It's a shock to everyone. The next morning David tries to talk to his daughter about what happened yesterday. After all, Milo was her friend. But Emma doesn't look upset at all, and she doesn't even try to hide it. Later, David shares his worries with Angela. She's sure he's overthinking it. Everyone deals with shock differently, especially children. It's Monday, so Khloe arrives. David introduces the new nanny to his daughter and then shows Khloe around the house. When the man leaves for a business meeting, Khloe finds various sedatives in his room and steals a few pills. In the evening, the nanny and the girl watch an old movie in the living room. Khloe quickly realizes that Emma is not as simple as she seems. Emma calls the nanny a thief, hinting at the stolen pills. Emma is willing to stay silent, on the condition that Khloe does everything she says. It seems Khloe has no choice. The day of Milo's funeral arrives. It's a great loss for everyone. Milo's classmates cry, as do their parents. David and Emma approach Milo's parents to offer their condolences in person. The girl pretends to cry, and it looks very convincing. The boy's mother, Maggie Curtis, mentions that Milo's medal has gone missing. David notices that at home, his daughter behaves nothing like she did at the funeral. She doesn't seem sad at all. He doesn't know that a terrible secret is hidden under Emma's bed. Later, while reviewing photos from the Citizen of the School awards party, David notes the look of hatred in Emma's eyes as she stares at Milo. The next day, the school principal and vice principal visit the Grossman household. They are conducting interviews with all the parents to gather more information. Emma eavesdrops on the conversation, and the nanny catches her. Khloe hears Mrs. Ellis mention that Emma was the last person to see Milo alive. There are witnesses. The conversation is interrupted when Emma screams. She has intentionally cut her hand to force the principal and vice principal to leave. As David wraps Emma's hand, he asks her if she wants to tell him anything about that day. Emma denies being on the cliff the day of the tragedy. She also claims that Mrs. Ellis hates her and that her words shouldn't be trusted. Still, David can't shake the feeling that his daughter is hiding something. He is still not used to having a woman in the house. Khloe is a live-in nanny and stays overnight. Khloe tries to win David's favor by acting sweet and saying how much she enjoys the job. But David prefers to keep his distance for now. The nanny and the girl go for a walk. When Emma sees Mrs. Ellis arriving at Milo's parents' house, she starts to get nervous. Khloe already knows that Emma pushed Milo off the cliff and advises her to think through every detail, because sooner or later, the police will catch up with her. Now both the nanny, who steals pills from her employer, and the girl have a secret. To scare Emma, Khloe tells her that what she did is punishable by death, even if the criminal is a minor. Emma makes it clear that she's not so easily intimidated. Later, while searching the house for Emma, who suddenly disappeared, Khloe looks under the girl's bed. Meanwhile, Mrs. Ellis, driving down the highway, is suddenly stung by a wasp that appeared out of nowhere. The woman nearly gets into a car accident. She doesn't know yet that her car is infested with wasps. By the time David gets home, his daughter is calmly doing her homework. He hasn't yet noticed the medal, deliberately left in plain sight. But Emma notices, and while her father is distracted, she tries to hide it. David demands that his daughter show him what's in her hand. Eventually, Emma has no choice but to do so. David asks her to explain how Milo's medal ended up with her. Khloe intervenes, saying she found the medal under the bed while cleaning. David hints that this is a conversation not meant for outsiders. Emma admits that she was on the cliff with Milo shortly before his death, and allegedly he gave her the medal to play with. According to Emma, that was the last time she saw Milo. David realizes something is seriously wrong with his daughter and calls Angela to help him find a good psychiatrist for Emma. Driving down the highway, David sees police cars. That night, David is tormented by nightmares. Could his daughter really be a monster? Khloe is curious how long Emma, this little psychopath, can keep fooling everyone around her. And Khloe knows this won't end well. Feeling it's the right thing to do, David takes his daughter to the Curtis home to return Milo's medal to his mother. David explains that Milo let Emma borrow the medal to play with. Emma confirms her father's words. Unable to hold back tears, Maggie thanks David and his daughter, mentioning that Mrs. Ellis perished yesterday. The girl starts to cry, saying that Mrs. Ellis was her favorite teacher. When Maggie says that a wasp nest was found in Mrs. Ellis's car, supposedly for a school project, Emma immediately pretends to feel unwell. Deep down, David already knows the truth but refuses to believe it. His suspicions are confirmed when he notices the wasp nest has been removed from the ceiling of his workshop. It's clear his daughter is a psychopath. David is determined to take her to a doctor. Emma agrees surprisingly easily. To begin with, Dr. March, the psychiatrist, wants to speak with the girl's father. David explains that his daughter is deceitful and lacks empathy for others. Dr. March claims that this is normal for teenagers, but in any case the psychiatrist wants to talk to Emma before drawing any final conclusions. Emma turns out to be smart enough to quickly charm the doctor and completely convince her that there is nothing to worry about. After the session, the psychiatrist tells David that his daughter is a perfectly normal child. David wants to believe that, but he can't completely shake off his doubts. Khloe continues to actively flirt with David, dreaming of marrying him and living in his big house. And Khloe openly talks about it with Emma, who definitely doesn't want such a stepmother and makes it clear to the nanny that she's not welcome in their family. But Khloe doesn't care what Emma thinks, nor about what she did to Milo. They're both bad, and that could have brought them closer together. Emma goes to her father and states that she will never accept any stepmother, especially not Khloe. David doesn't understand what his daughter means, since he's never shown any interest in Khloe. Tonight David goes on a date with a friend of Angela's, telling her about his daughter and his successful business. Emma has disappeared again, and Khloe is searching for her everywhere. When she enters the garage, the door suddenly shuts. Khloe finds herself locked inside, realizing she's fallen into Emma's trap. At some point a fire breaks out. Emma watches indifferently as the nanny struggles to escape. Khloe doesn't hold out long, the garage becomes her grave. David rushes over as soon as he hears about the fire. The police calm David down, assuring him that his daughter is safe. But unfortunately the nanny didn't survive. The police assume that Khloe was smoking in the shed. David is relieved that his daughter wasn't hurt, but he knows she had something to do with it. David asks Emma to tell him the whole truth, or he won't be able to help her. Emma lies that she accidentally pushed Milo off the cliff and then got scared and ran away. Emma promises her father not to do anything like that again. David asks his daughter what happened to her first nanny. The girl replies that she pushed Nanny down the stairs because she was too strict. There's no longer any point in denying that she was behind the deaths of both Mrs. Ellis and Khloe. But Emma feels no guilt, believing they all deserved it. David has no idea what to do and tries to call Dr. March, but she's not in her office. In the morning David is woken by a call from the sheriff, who wants Emma and her father to answer a few questions at the station. David has until Monday to decide what to do next. He wakes Emma and tells her they need to leave right now. They head to their lake house. David hopes that far away from everyone he'll be able to make the right decision. They are met by Brian, who gives them the keys from Angela. David's sister enjoys spending time here. Late in the evening, David video calls Angela, who is shocked to hear what happened to Khloe. David checks that his gun is still in the bedside table and gets a call from Sheriff Peterson, who says the fire was deliberate. David is haunted by nightmares again. In the morning during breakfast, the phone rings but David doesn't answer. Emma won't stop, and her father knows it. He can't afford to do nothing. Emma senses her father's doubts and insists she would never hurt anyone without a reason. But David no longer believes her. Before bed, while Emma is brushing her teeth in the bathroom, David picks up his gun. But how can he go through with it when he's the one who created Emma? Early in the morning, the girl leaves the cabin. David wakes up to the smell of gas and hurriedly turns off the stove. Then he asks his daughter why she wanted to hurt him. Emma replies indifferently that she wants to live with Angela, the only one who thinks she's good. David takes his daughter by the hand, and they go back into the house together. David feels he failed his late wife. If she were alive, things might have turned out differently. David knows he must stop all the horrors Emma might still unleash and poisons her hot chocolate. David brings 2 mugs into Emma's room. She asks him to get cream from the fridge. Later, when Emma has fallen asleep, David calls his sister and tells her the whole truth. Angela can't believe what she hears. David says he's already done what had to be done. But David realizes too late that Emma didn't drink the poisoned hot chocolate, she switched the mugs. Taking advantage of her father's confusion, Emma calls 911 and reports that she's in danger. Emma locks herself in the bathroom, but David breaks down the door and points a gun at her. Soon they'll both see her mother again. At that moment, Brian appears with a shotgun. Before David can shoot, Brian fires. The police arrive. It all looks like Emma is the victim and David is a psychopath. Angela is deeply shaken by what happened and is ready to take care of her niece, convinced that David was mentally ill. Everything went exactly as Emma had planned.